Let's welcome Dr. Christy Caminati.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. All right. Nobody's going to sleep with me here in front of you because I'm going to call on you. Anyways, I am here to present our program, the Associate Degree Nursing Program of South Texas College. Our objectives for this presentation is for you to be able to discuss the current state of the nursing profession, to understand the application process to the STC ADN program, and to explain the ADN degree plan. So let me ask you a question. Why are you here in the Nursing Allied Health campus? Anybody? Yes, ma'am.
Right now, just to take the College Success for Healthcare course.
To take the College Success for Healthcare course right now. But eventually, there's something going to come up after that, right?
The ADN program.
To come to the ADN program. Great. Anybody else? Don't be shy.
To pursue a medical career?
To pursue a medical career or a career in healthcare field, right? Yes, ma'am.
To learn how to survive in the program once you're in.
Okay,
And
she said to
manage
learn how to survive in the program once you're in. Very good. Okay, so I bet you, most of you have that goal personally to be self-fulfilled, to fulfill your dreams by helping others while earning adequately, right, to provide a decent life for you and your family. Am I right? Okay, that is great. So you are in the right place at the right time. Now let me tell you why you are in the right place at the right time. Why is this the right time? If you look at this graph, it tells you that the most number of nurses at this moment belong to what age group? 50 to 54, almost to the 60s. These are the nurses of the baby boomer generation. I belong to that generation. What's going to happen to me in a few years? I'm going to be thinking of retirement. And so that is why we need you, the future generation of nurses, to take our places. The average age of active nurses right now is 46 to 47 years old. Right? So you could foresee yourself in the near future. Wow, I'm seeing bright eyes. All right, now look at this map of the United States of America. RNs over 50 years old, okay, are those that are shaded green. And look at this. Where are the green shaded areas?
everywhere.
Everywhere and all over the United States of America. So that means when you earn your RN degree, it's going to open so many doors for you, not just here in the Valley, but all over the United States of America and all over the world as well. So what a great opportunity, isn't it? All right, that's great. Okay, the Department of Health and Human Services stated that by the year 2020, more than 1 million nurses will be needed across the country. Do you want to be one of those? Yes. Very good. Okay. So, what does that secure you? A job, a career, and good life, right? Okay, other reasons why you're here at the right place at the right time. The healthcare field is dynamic and ever-changing due to increasing costs in the healthcare field, alternative therapies, and reformed healthcare system. We're very well aware of that it's going on right now. Okay, what else are the reasons behind that? The demographics of the patient population is changing. What kind of changes are we seeing in the demographics of the country? What do you think is going on?
People are living longer.
Yes, more retirees, people are getting older, they have a longer life expectancy because of modern medicine, and therefore, this older population, they're going to need your care, they're going to need your help so as to survive. Any other thing that's going on, aside from the graying of America? Okay, there's an increasing diversity in our population. Diversity in so many ways, not just cultural diversity, sexual diversity, age diversity, everything. And so these special groups of people will need special care from us. Plus, not to forget, it is financially rewarding. This is a service profession. I do not want the finances to be your motivating factor. In a service profession, your motivating factor should be to be able to help somebody, to be able to help your patients, right? And to be able to have an impact in their lives. However, we need money to survive, and the nursing profession is going to make sure that you have a decent lifestyle. And look at this graph. Look at the average salary that a professional nurse would earn in a year. More than $66,000 a year. Would that be good enough for you all to have a decent life for your family? Okay, great. So, there you go. That would help us maintain a good life, a decent life for everybody. So, why are you in the right place? Because rural counties have a lower supply of nurses. Where are we located at? In the border, in a rural county, South Texas, right? So, this place will need you. Hospital vacancy rate in South Texas is 7.6%, and hospital RN turnover rate is 20.5%. So those are big numbers. We need nurses all the time. It's never going to stop. If you hear about nursing shortage, it is here to stay. And that is why you're going to be assured of a job for a lifetime. So, where do you think is the best place to prepare for your future? South Texas College. Can you make it louder?
South Texas College.
Yes. The Associate Degree Nursing Program of South Texas College. Right here. Right now. Okay. The mission statement of South Texas College, it states that it is a world-class institution advancing regional prosperity through education for a better quality of life in our community. First of all, a better quality of life for each one of you, and eventually for your families and the entire community. The Nursing and Allied Health Division of South Texas College is a learner-centered division committed to the education of healthcare professionals. STC's Nursing and Allied Health programs combine the highest quality instruction. Are you experiencing it now? Yes. This is a high quality instruction. And when you join our programs, you will be exposed to clinical experiences in both hospital and community settings. So that would make you a well-prepared registered nurse in the future. So the vision of our program is in alignment with the vision of South Texas College. But our mission is something a little bit different because now it is more distinct to future nurses. The mission of the Associate Degree Nursing Program is to prepare individuals to become professional nurses who will be providers of patient-centered care. Okay? When you start working there as nurses, your primary responsibility is the patient. The care is going to revolve around that patient, not you. It's all about the patient. Likewise, you will become patient safety advocates. What does an advocate mean, or what does an advocate do? Promote. Yes.
Speaks for, does for.
Speaks for the patient, that's right. Represents the patient's best interest. And when you are professional nurses, you will be patient advocates out there. Okay? You are going to be members of the healthcare team and profession. Nurses is about the biggest number of healthcare professionals. Let me ask you a question. Who among you know how many nurses are there in the United States of America at this point? Throw in a number.
50,000 or 500,000?
500,000? More.
3 million.
75? 75?
75?
Or like 3/4 of a million?
3/4 of a million? More than that. Any other ideas? How about this part of the room? 2 million? More than that.
15 million?
That's way too much. What is more than 2 million? Anybody?
3.3 million.
3 million. Who said 3 million?
How about 9 million?
3 million is the winner. Okay, we are 3 million strong right now. And when you become registered nurses, you're going to add up to that. So we are the largest profession in the healthcare field. And that's why we have a voice. Together with number comes what? Power, right? And that's why the nursing profession is powerful because of that huge number. Did anybody of you watch the most recent Miss Universe pageant? When there was a nurse contestant who as a talent, she presented a monologue about her job with a stethoscope around her shoulder. And then that nurse was critiqued by The View. What happened to The View? They lost several sponsors because the nurses came together as a big group and saying, you cannot do that to our nurse. Okay? That's how strong we are. And we would like to welcome you in that big number of professionals. Okay? Plus, you are all going to be able to do all of these important roles in meeting the needs of our growing and diverse community. So, there's so many ways to become a nurse. One is to go through the associate degree nursing program, and that is what we have here on campus right now. And that takes about 2 years. If you want to go and pursue your Bachelor of Science in Nursing, that will take you about 4 years. And after your Bachelor of Science in Nursing, the world is yours to conquer. If you want to be a nurse practitioner, if you want to be a certified registered nurse anesthetist, if you want to be an educator like me, the world is out there. You can take your Master of Science in Nursing and pursue your doctorate degree as well. Okay? So in our program here, we have 3 different tracks. We have the traditional track, wherein we admit students every fall and spring. The LVN to RN track, we admit students every summer and every spring. And the paramedic to RN track, we do admit every fall. So there's so many ways you could join us. Okay, here are the application requirements. First of all, of course, you must meet general admission requirements to the South Texas College. You have to have a high school diploma or a GED equivalent. You have to earn a cumulative GPA of 3.0 on a 4.0 scale in all your transfer courses and the courses in the ADN degree plan. You have to complete all the prerequisite courses with a minimum of B as listed in our degree plan. Some other requirements, you have to earn a minimum grade of B in Introduction to Nursing course within the last 2 years. Okay? You have to submit a completed program application by a stated deadline. And those deadlines are going to be posted on our website and updated accordingly. If you need immediate information, there's a number that you can call, 872-3132. Another requirement is you have to participate in an advisement program, and that is required because in that advisement program you will be able to ask all the questions that you might have and they'll be able to provide you with all the necessary information. The schedule for the advisement programs will be posted in our website as well. But as I've said, if you need immediate information, there's a number that you can call, 872-3132. Okay, you have heard about the HESI A2 test?
Yep.
Yes, okay. HESI A2 test is the admission assessment test. And you should score at least 75% in math, in English, and in the sciences, and a composite score of at least 75%. Okay, and that HESI A2 test should be good for the previous 2 years or the 2 years that you're going to apply into the program, not longer than 2 years. And you have to meet the technical standards that is required by the program to be able to attend clinical. The list of those technical standards will be available in our website as well. Okay. One very important information is that when you're going to apply into our program, you have to go through a criminal background test. Why do you think that is important?
Because if you're going to be handling patients.
That's right. We are going to be taking care of our patients. The public needs to know that the nurses who are going to take care of their patients are safe practitioners. All right. Then you will have to go through immunizations. These are the immunization requirements. We have chicken pox. If you've had chicken pox when you were a child, there is a form that is in our website wherein you can ask your parents to sign that form and state in there that you have had the chicken pox when you were young, so you don't have to take another vaccine. MMR is required. That's your measles and mumps, rubella vaccine. HBV or the hepatitis vaccine. Then you have the Tdap. Okay, PPD as well, just for TB. And if you're positive for PPD, chest x-ray every 2 years. And of course, annually, we all have to have our flu vaccine. And these requirements are called for by the hospitals where you will be going for your clinical. All right, so those immunization requirements have to be done before you can go to the clinical area. So how do we go about selecting our students? Selection is based on a competitive point system. Okay, you will see the application form on our website, and you will see in there how we compute the grades. If you are not sure, please, you feel free to go make an appointment with Miss Claudia Camacho, and she's going to help you fill that out and compute your scores. Then you get additional points. Being in your course right now, if you make a B in this course, you're going to get an additional point of 0.5. If you get an A, where are our A students? You will get an additional point, 1 full point towards your application points, okay? Qualified applications are ranked from the highest to the lowest points. And due to program size limitations, some applicants who may meet the qualifications may not get admitted due to the number of students that we can admit every semester. And I've told you those numbers already. All right? So here are our prerequisite courses. I believe some of you are familiar with this, or some of you might have taken these prerequisite courses already. Recently, the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board mandated that all associate degrees should only have 60 credits towards their degree. Before it was 72. So when they brought it down to 60, these are the 4 major prerequisites that you need. English 1301, which is composition. Biology 2401, which is anatomy and physiology 1. Biology 2402, anatomy and physiology 2. And RNSG 1209, which is introduction to nursing. Once you have all of those prerequisites, with what grade? Yes, a minimum of B grade, then you can apply into our program. Okay? There are 2 co-requisite courses. What do I mean by co-requisites? You can take this while you're already in the program. However, if you want to take this before you apply, it's better in 2 ways. First, if you have taken these already and have made good grades, that will help you in the point system. And secondly, if you have taken these co-requisite courses already, when you're with us, then it's out of the way, then you're not worrying about it. Then you can concentrate in your nursing courses. Okay? So those are the prerequisite and the co-requisite courses. Now, just a brief overview of the ADN program. This is the traditional track. All of these, you have the degree plans available in our website. You can print them out, you can look at them, and choose whichever way you want to take. For the traditional track, we have 4 levels. Okay? First level, second, third, and fourth. In the first level, these are the courses that you're going to take. Right now, these are just numbers. But if you go and look at our degree plans, they have in there the specific names of the courses. So in the first level, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 major courses. 1300 is about health assessment across the lifespan. RNSG 1530 is foundations of nursing practice. RNSG 1205 is nursing skills. Those are the basic nursing skills that you need to know. And then RNSG 1262 is the clinical component. Every level has a clinical component. Every course has a clinical component. Okay, now moving on to second level, you see how many courses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that's a lot. However, what we do is we divide it into 2 mini-masters. Okay, so the first 3 courses, some of you will take it in the first 8 weeks, and then the second 8 weeks you're going to move into this second 2. Some of you will be admitted, might be registered in these 2 courses, and then in the next 8 weeks you will move on to these courses. The major courses in the second level is Common Concepts of Medical Surgical Nursing and Mental Health Nursing. And each of those have their clinical component. So that's a mini-master. The third level is the same way. You will have 2 mini-masters as well. So those 4 courses will be divided. Okay, you might take these first 2 courses in the first 8 weeks, and then these next 2 courses in the second 8 weeks, or vice versa. In the third level, our emphasis there is about obstetrics and pediatrics, babies and moms. And together with it, you will also have complex concepts of medical surgical nursing. All right, so those are the 2 levels where you have mini-masters. By the time you reach 4th level, this time is going to be a full semester again. And during the 4th level, you're going to take up courses in advanced concepts of medical surgical nursing, its clinical component, and leadership and management. Once that's all done, you've completed all the theoretical and clinical components. The last part is Nursing 2363, which is the preceptorship program. In that preceptorship program, you will be assigned to a nurse out there in the hospitals, whatever hospital, we have preceptors. You'll be assigned to them one-on-one, and you'll be going to experience their lives walking in those nursing shoes for 12 hours a day, and you'll be required to put in 160 hours. But that's a good part of the program, because at that point, you can start networking with the nurses out there, and if you make an impression to the nurse managers or the administrators of the hospital, guess what? Before you even graduate, they'll be offering you a job. already. Okay, once all of this is said and done, now you can graduate and take the licensure examination. That's the NCLEX, National Council for Licensure Examination for Registered Nurses. And once you pass that test, you are going to attach that title behind your name, RN. Does that feel good? Sounds good, right? Oh, yes. Okay. So, other skills that you need to develop to succeed in nursing, of course, you have to have adequate knowledge, and that's why we have all of those courses. And you have to be caring, and you have to be compassionate, because if you do not have that, you're not going to last long in the profession. There's so many challenges out there. There's so many bumps along the road. But if your primary motivation is to care for your patient and to show your compassion to the patients and their families, that's going to keep you there forever. Okay? Then we know already that you're going to be advocates for your patients. Then you need all of this to be able to think critically while you are on your own 2 feet, because when you're working there as a registered nurse, you cannot be looking up the lab results in the book or looking up about the medications, because you should be able to make decisions right there and then. Okay, so critical thinking is very important. You have to be creative. Creativity comes out when you lack resources, when you don't have enough nurses to work with. How are you going to be creative so that the patients can be taken care of? You have to be able to do that. Don't forget about math. How many of you love math? A few hands are going up. Okay, you have to love it now. There's a myth that says, I'm going to go in nursing because I hate math. Wrong. Because math goes hand in hand with nursing. Why? Can somebody tell me why? Because you need math to compute the dosage of the medications of your patient, right? Exactly. One single mistake in your dosage calculation, what can happen to your patient? Okay? You can underdose the patient or overdose a patient, and eventually, our gentleman says here, you can kill your patient. Thank you for that information, right? So you have to be very proficient in math. All right, and eventually you have to have that professionalism in you, because you are joining a professional group of workers out there. So here are some strategies that can help you get ahead. First of all, if you know somebody out there as a nurse working and you admire that person could be your mom or your dad or your friend. How many of you have or know nurses out there who are working right now? Great. Okay. So if you know them, you can shadow them at their workplace if the workplace will allow for that, or frequently talk to them and ask them how the profession is and what are the advantages and disadvantages of the profession. Identify a mentor and look up to that mentor every single day. Volunteer at a hospital, a nursing home, a free clinic, or a hospice. How many of you are volunteering right now? Nobody yet? Well, volunteering is great because you will already feel how it is to be working in a hospital, right? You will also feel how it is to associate with the patients out there. Plus, a very good factor for you to motivate you to volunteer is that some hospitals offer scholarships to their volunteers. Is that good? So tell me, how many of you now want to be volunteers? Yes. Okay. One hospital I know for sure that offers scholarships to their volunteers is Rio Grande Regional Hospital. So check that out. Okay. Remember our ladders. If you cannot go through our traditional track, where else can you go through? LVN track or the paramedic track. Okay, so don't ever say, I didn't qualify to that traditional track. And that if you go down a little bit, then you're still passing. Because if you don't make that 75, you're not going to be able to apply into the program. Another tip, challenge yourself. Take all those prerequisite courses and aim for an A. Right. Aim for an A. If you fall short, where are you going to land? A B, and you can still apply. But if you aim for B and you fall short, where are you going to land? C, and you cannot apply in the program. So always aim high. Okay? Here are some of the resources that you can go into, and please feel free. YouTube has a lot of videos about the lives of nurses, about their practices in the hospitals, and all of those information if you still want to know how is it really to be a nurse. Okay, so now you are in this career path. Choose whichever you think is the best for you and your family. And don't let anybody stop you from doing so. Go for it. Okay? Well, thank you so much for your attention. And I'm ready for questions.
When you do the LVN to RN transition, what level do you start in? Like, do you start like at a level 1, 2, or do you start at...
Yes, you apply in the LVN program, and they take in students, I know, once a year in the fall, and usually their application process starts in January. So you start at the level 1, but theirs is quite different. Their program is quite different, and I know you will also have a presentation from their program chair. So you go through that LVN program, and then after you acquire your license as a licensed vocational nurse, then you can apply into our program, smoothly transition into our program. We also welcome LVNs from the community. We have LVNs out there who've been practicing for years, right? And they want to advance their education. They can also apply to our program in the LVN to RN track. Thank you for that question. Any other question?
Are we gonna have daycare in this campus?
The question is, are they going to have daycare on this campus? I cannot answer that question because we are also asking for that. The faculty as well is asking for that. So hopefully, you know, they would come up with that sooner or later, because I know that the Mid-Valley campus has daycare facilities. Yes. And I believe about 2 semesters ago, if I'm not mistaken, they took a survey from the faculty here if we needed a daycare center, and we answered that survey. So we'll bring it up with our dean. Okay? Thank you for that question.